All right, there was an update in late November and my site has gone down. To be honest, it's been going downward since October. It's a site that I acquired and currently I'm updating old posts, outsourcing new content. All right, and he gave us the site to look at, and I'll go ahead and throw that up so that you guys can have something to look at.
You didn't get that URL in there, did you?
I don't think so. I'll do it again just to be sure.
Okay.
This looks good, right?
Yeah.
He says it's a site he acquired. He acquired it. Been going down since October. Okay, so someone else built the site and he, I guess, bought it, and
Acquired it.
and it looks like it's actually been going down since May. This big peak right here. This big peak right. Why isn't my thing working? This big peak right here was in May. All right, so yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and just hop into it. Yeah, it looks like it had about a 50% decrease since May.
Traffic-wise, organic keywords are actually steadily moving up.
So October,
so it's like.
Sorry, I was just this little peak right here is when he's saying it started dropping since then. And yeah, like Nick was saying, actually since October, which is right about here, your keywords are actually going up very nicely, which is generally a sign of just, these two graphs together, the traffic and the keywords graphs, these things together, we kind of just look at them like, is the site healthy, right? And seeing, so you're seeing, you're saying you're dropping since October, but overall, we haven't made a newer, if you're looking at like a stocks graph, you haven't made a newer low yet, right?
Yeah.
So, you did lose some traffic from here to here. But yeah, it's not like a massive thing quite yet. And
Yeah,
you're seeing this, and you're seeing the keyword growth right here, which shows us that, it doesn't really look like this is exactly a bad thing.
No, at an immediate assumption based on what I normally see when this is going on, your overall site is healthy. However, you've lost favor for some of the main traffic terms that you once ranked for. This can happen due to a lot of different things, namely, changes in competition for those particular SERPs, or maybe, your site fell out of favor due to it not looking too natural, and now you're slowly building up towards the trust flow that would allow you to access those SERPs again. But yeah, we can go ahead and
before we jump into it, I'll just say one more thing. 833 referring domains with a DR of 17 makes it seem like the links that you
did you buy this site and start spamming it? Is that what happened?
Just this would tell me that without really looking at it, that your links are, or at least a good amount of your links are kind of just like junk or low quality or just very low authority.
Place a bet on Web 2.0.
Doesn't mean that you can't have good links in there, just that this number is very high and this number is not too high. Like we'd want to see this number probably more around like 30, 40, 50 for this amount of backlinks. Yeah, let's go ahead and look into things a little bit further. Here, I want to just see how big the site is real quick.
Yeah.
It's a pretty small site, actually. It's got 157 pages. I mean, it's not small, but it's not huge. 157 URLs that are indexed. For 157 URL site with 10K traffic, it's also not that not too shabby.
No, I'd say you found a nice little niche here.
All right, we'll go ahead and look in. We want to start going anchors, I guess.
Anchors, yeah. So typically, for those of y'all that are kind of newer, since it looks like we've got a lot of newer viewers here, from Ahrefs, we're looking, at the overall picture right there on the home page. Then we're going to anchors a lot of the times because it's going to be it's going to give you an idea of how natural things are overall. When you see a lot of exact match or long tail keywords taking over, more real estate than you see branded naked generic kind of anchors, then something's probably unnatural just right out of the gate right there. You can see it very obviously. And then we like to move to backlinks from there.
So I kind of went ahead and I wrote something on here. I went and looked at something else real quick. I went into his
Mm-hmm.
backlinks and I clicked the little button that says exclude subdomains. And the reason I did
Sure.
that is because sites are just getting spammed extremely commonly with Web 2.0 stuff, especially Blogspot. And so you can see his referring domains before was about 833. And then when you say, okay, now let's look at everything that's not a subdomain, so it's not a Web 2.0 essentially. He's only got about 249 referring domains.
Mm-hmm.
So then when you have 249 actual referring domains, not including the
So
Web
it's like a
2.0 crap,
third.
and then you look at the DR17, I'd say it actually looks pretty okay. Um, these two numbers match a lot more than 1,000 or 833 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, let's go ahead and look in the anchors real quick. Anchors, I'm also going to click exclude subdomains. So we're not looking at the Web 2.0 anchors. It's got a URL up at the top, URL anchor. And we've got some image anchors. We've got a brand name right here, some miscellaneous, some long tail, more URL. I would say it looks like a pretty natural looking anchor profile right
Yeah, it
here.
looks pretty good.
Um,
But if we add subdomains, what's it looking like?
so add subdomains. You're just gonna,
Mainly those long
yeah, just kind of
tails like
the,
you see with a bunch of Web 2.0 spam.
yeah, we can go ahead and look at that real quick if you want. Yeah,
Well,
see,
I
it's all
think
this
we know where
blogspot crap.
yeah, they're all blog spots and stuff. Yeah, which is typically auto-generated, content, and we see it all over the place. And it's been like that for like a few years now that you just see it everywhere. That or the image, the empty image anchors, those have kind of
Yeah,
stopped being so prevalent over, maybe the last year or two.
yeah.
But yeah, Web 2.0 spam everywhere.
Um, so, God, what was I about to say?
So
Anyway,
overall, I mean, like
anchors look fine. Yeah.
you're yeah, they look all right. When we exclude the Web 2.0 spam, but even with the Web 2.0 spam, I wouldn't say that anything looks too bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would still stick to from here wanting to be more natural with my anchors over time. And so from there, I guess we can check out backlinks, see what kind of stuff they're using, if they're diversifying.
Oh, so he's also this site's in our MLB program as well. He just joined, I
Yeah,
think, somewhat recently. Um, but yeah, I mean, so I'm not really seeing anything too bad in here. Let's go and look at backlinks real quick. Um, sort by DR. Do, 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 do. I'm just looking for relevance right now, basically.
I'm seeing a mix of directories, possibly what are guest posts, a press release. So you are pretty well diversified in what you're doing. As far as your backlink profile looks at a glance,
Mm-hmm.
majority of these are pretty natural anchors that we're getting from the higher authority sites, majority anyway.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't see anything wrong with this site.
No.
I think it boosted up. I mean, at least as far as the off page goes, I guess we could look at the site itself. We don't really do like on page audits. Um,
No, but my guess is so based on what I'm
uh-oh, we got a
looking
bunch
at,
of
my
best
guess would
here.
be,
Here,
oh,
let's
well,
see something real
yeah,
quick.
that's something. So yeah, in recent times, Affiliate sites that obviously
Uh-oh.
go after best or review have been hit. I would say that's way too much.
It's not the
Yeah.
worst.
It's not the worst, but it's up there. I mean, like as far as putting best in your permalinks now, I actually don't do it at all in recent times. I've changed everything to be broad focused.
Mhm.
So, if it's like nail trimmers, my permalink's going to be nail dash trimmer, not best dash nail dash trimmer, which is what a lot of people do. Um, so based on this, my guess is it has to do with some of these on-page issues, right? Because you've got like best not only in the permalinks, but in the titles and then sprinkled out throughout the articles as well.
Mhm.
So over-optimized for an obvious affiliate site. And then on top of that, a lot of these smaller sites, like we were talking about earlier, got beat out by the bigger sites, Walmart, Amazon, etc., for you know, um, uh, the terms that were a little bit more broad, that probably resonated with a bit more traffic to you. So, if the target was nail trimmers, there was an algo shift. I think it was December where we got it really heavy, where we saw a lot of the higher authority sites take over positions for the smaller niche down sites. I think at a glance, if I was going to give you advice about what to do with this site right now, I would go and at least adjust the permalinks and the title tags to be less based around best and review, and to be a bit more generalized, towards the actual specific product. So
Mhm.
if it was nail trimmers, where we have best nail trimmers in 2021, the reviews and top picks, we would go in and we would do, the permalink would be nail trimmers, nail dash trimmers, not best dash nail dash trimmers. So just nail trimmers. And then make sure you're 301ing that old page to the new page, right? And then for article title, using best there every once in a while sparingly is fine. But what are some synonyms or like, different terms we could use to resonate with the same thing? Our favorite nail trimmers of the year. Check out our guide, something along those lines, right? But what we're seeing here is predominantly all of your pages are kind of structured the same way. They're about best and reviews, which is a telltale sign recently that this person is monetizing this traffic, and a lot of times that's not in favor
I'm
anymore.
just looking up some of the competition for some of his. I mean, his content look.
Yeah, but Bob Vila is
Yeah. Well,
that's a massive,
so some of the competition here is
site.
quite high authority. So it's going to be hard to
That one's
outrank some of the
also.
stuff. I was just looking at the content itself and trying to see if it was just kind of similar. And it does look pretty
Hmm.
similar as far as the length of the content, kind of how it's laid out and stuff like that. Um,
They're using best a lot, it seems to.
yeah, they are. So
So it might be more of an authority
yeah, I wouldn't
issue.
worry so much about the best stuff. I mean, his site, what I looked at, it looked like it's about like 50-50 best content and other content. I don't know if I'd really
Hmm.
focus on that too much. But yeah, the content looks pretty much in line with the other stuff.
All I know is my site that was structured the same way using lots of bests, when I went in there and shifted out of that, I got exponential increase in
I'm just
traffic.
going to look at one more of his articles real quick and just see what the authority of his competition's looking like on that one real quick too. Where does site go? And keyword, we'll just take that. No. You can definitely outrank some of
These
the
are
stuff.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm not really seeing too much of an issue here with stuff, to be honest. I think if you stay on the building links train, you stay on the revitalizing content, adding new content train, and maybe keep an eye out for check out what some of the most recent updates were as far as affiliate content goes, and just making sure you're kind of following the trends as far as what Google likes to see for affiliate content these days. I think the site could perform just fine. I'm not really seeing any big red flags here. What about you, Nick?
And before, no, not at all. And before we say anything, I mean, like your site's doing well
Yeah.
overall, right? Like it looks like what we said is right. You fell out of favor for some of the heavier traffic terms you once ranked for.
Hmm.
Um, and so typically when that happens, but we see organic rankings are, continually going up. It's just a matter of authority in a lot of times.
Just want to see what he is ranking for real quick. Turn off this other add-on. He's still ranking for some pretty high volume stuff. Um, if I just
Yeah.
had to do a quick guess, because of some of the content was one of the SERPs that we looked at had some very high authority players on it, and then the other SERP that we looked at looked much more doable. So what it looks like to me is maybe over time, either some big competition got into the game, or for certain SERPs, for certain keywords, Google has started preferring this much higher authority stuff, much higher authority sites. But yeah, other than that, I don't really see anything wrong with your site. It looks healthy. Your off page looks fine. Yeah, I just think it's a matter, I think it's a matter of just maybe the SERP shift, certain SERP shifting to prefer a higher authority, and I think that's just the end of the story. It's not exactly a fun answer because it's not exactly fixable. You can't just say, well, hey, add a ton of authority, because of course, well, you can add a ton of authority, but adding a ton of authority takes money, in backlinks. But yeah,
And
I
time,
think
yeah.
your site looks great. I don't really see any big problems here. Just keep doing what you're doing. We like seeing the keywords go up like this, and then yeah, just keep building links as well, and your site will start becoming more competitive with some of those bigger players on some of the harder to rank keywords. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the description below for links to our blog for more info on this topic, along with a bunch of other cool stuff like case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed the video. Thanks and happy ranking.